Hello everyone, today we are going to solve the Leetcode question number 55, jump games. You are initially positioned at the array's first index and each element in the array represents your maximum jump length at that position. Return true if you can reach the last index or false otherwise. We are given an example here with a list of few numbers. From 2 we can jump to 2 indexes. You can jump either to 3 or to 1. From 3 we can jump to 3 elements, either to 1 or to the next one or to the last element, which is 4. So from 2 we can do 1 jump, which is 3, and from 3 we can do 3 jumps, so we can reach the last element. Hence we are returning the output as true. We are given another example here. From the first index element, which is 3, we can either jump to 2 or to 1 or to 0. If you do 1 jump from 3, we will land to 2. From 2, we can jump to either 1 or to 2. From 1, we have to jump to the next element, which is 0. From 0, we will not be able to jump to the next element, which is 4. You will always arrive at index position 3 no matter what. Its maximum jump length is 0, which makes it impossible to reach the last index. So we are returning false. I hope the question is clear. Now let's get into the approach. Here is an example of the list which is given in the question. And here are the index positions. The element 2 is in index position 0, followed by 3 in index position 1 and 1 in index position 2 and the next one in index position 3 and 4 in index position 4. The first step is to find the last position. To find the last position, we can find the length of the list minus 1, which is 4. Now we will iterate from the previous element to the last element, which is 1. From 1, we will iterate backwards. Now, from the index position 3, we will see if we can jump to 4. In order to find that, we will calculate the sum of index position plus the element, which is 3 plus 1 is greater than or equal to the last position. In this case, it is true. So, we will change the last position to the previous element, which is 3. Now, we will iterate from the previous element, which is 1. From 1, we will see if we can jump to the last position. In order to do that, we will find the sum of the index plus the element, which is 1. And we will see if it is greater than or equal to the last position, which is 3. The reason why we are decrementing the last position, because we know for sure that we can jump from the index position 3 to the index position 4. Now our last position becomes 2. Now we will iterate from the previous element, which is 3, and we will perform the same operation. Now we will check if 1 plus 3 is greater than or equal to true, which is true. So we will again decrement the last position. Now we will iterate from the previous element, which is 2, and we will perform the same operation. We will check if 0 plus 2 is greater than or equal to 1. In this case, it is true, so we will again decrement the last position. Now we have iterated all the elements and our last position is equal to 0. If the last position is equal to 0, we will return true. Now we will see one more example of a list. In this list, here are the index positions. We will first find the index position of the last element, which is 4. Now we will iterate from the previous element to the last element, which is 0, is greater than or equal to 4. In this case, it is false. So we will not change the last position. We will iterate to the next element. Now we will calculate if 2 plus 1 is greater than or equal to 4, which is false. So we will not change the last position and we will iterate to the next element, which is 2. From 2, we will calculate if 1 plus 2 is greater than or equal to 4, So we will not change the last position and we will iterate to the next element, which is 3. From 3, we will calculate if 3 plus 0 is greater than or equal to 4, which is not true. So our last position remains 4. Since our last position is not 0, we will not be able to traverse to the last position. So we will return false. I hope the approach is clear. Now let's get into the implementation. As a first step, let's calculate the last position, which is length of nums minus 1. Now from the previous element to the last element, we will iterate backwards. For I in range of length of nums minus 2, comma, minus 1, comma, minus 1. Length of minus 2 is to find the previous element to the last element. From there, we will iterate backwards. So we have minus 1 and minus 1. If the index position I plus the element in the index, which is nums of I, is greater than or equal to last position, only then our last position will become I. If not, we will iterate to the next element. At the end, we will return last position equals to 0. If the last position is equal to 0, it returns true or it returns false. Now let's submit it. The solution got accepted.